You don't want to leave the pop or even bottled water out heading into tomorrow because you're going to have just chunks of ice and pop cans bursting because of the brutal cold that we have heading our way. This is the coldest air that we have had this season so far. And, it's not going to be comfortable for those Amazon drivers that have to deliver. So, yeah, definitely tip the drivers because they're still working. They're helping make the holiday season go off without a hitch. So winter weather alerts, we're bringing those to you on the west side of the state, northern lower Michigan, UP. So you notice that they don't stretch into southeastern Michigan. But if you recall, this time last week, this is almost an identical setup. So the bulk of the snow part of this event will impact from central to the western portion of lower Michigan. So we're going to see accumulating snow. We know how to handle about 1 to 3 inches of snow. That's really not the concern. It'll be blowing and drifting snow, potential snow squalls, and just the brutal wind chills that we have in store. So kind of a trifecta of weather conditions leading to our concerns for tonight into tomorrow morning. But it is worth noting this lake effect snow warning that's coming off of Lake Erie for Erie and Buffalo. That's because of maybe 6 to 12 inches of accumulation. And we'll have anywhere from 3 to 7 inches on the west side of the state, adding to some pretty significant snow depth in northern lower Michigan and the UP. So right now, persistent bands just churning in northern lower Michigan. We're starting to see this get closer to about Muskegon, north of Grand Rapids, and a few of those flakes have worked their way into southeastern Michigan. Not accumulating snow, but as we've been checking in, Pontiac still has a few flakes flying at this hour, where we sit right at 32 degrees. Now, as you work your way farther east, anywhere from Port Huron and down towards Grosse Ile, we're above freezing, Metro Airport at 34, but we're really at the warmest part of the day as temperatures will be sliding. So as you get the kids ready for the bus stop, today, not too bad. Maybe they have a few flakes flying at recess, but we'll be right around the freezing mark at drop off. It's tomorrow morning where I'm concerned for kids that have to stand outside for a prolonged amount of time, that we have sub-zero wind chills, not to mention construction crews or Amazon drivers or whoever is working outside having to deal with those temperatures. So clouds and radar, let's take you through the timeline here. I think midday you might see some of that snow in the thumb, and that's where we could end up having some higher amounts just because of how much longer the snow event would be up there. But otherwise, some scattered snow showers and bands working their way in potentially for the evening rush hour drive. But what catches my eye is that deeper band by about 9 o'clock this evening, closer to I-94. That could potentially lead to a snow squall, if not some rapid accumulation. And the persistent snow stays west of here. So that's why those alerts are off to our west. And that's from the National Weather Service. However, we want to forewarn you of inconvenient weather tonight through tomorrow morning. So snowfall totals anywhere from about 1 inch to 3 inches in those bands that are a little thicker. You might just get a coating in areas that don't see persistent bands. So it's really not the snow that's an issue, but it's going to be these wind gusts on top of it, blowing any snow that there is around by tomorrow morning before daybreak. Those wind gusts are between 30 to 40 miles per hour, and that's going to lead to the really low wind chills. And so overnight into tomorrow, wind chill readings dip below zero. Actual air temperatures will be anywhere from about 10 to 15 degrees, and that's going to make salt less effective as we head into tomorrow morning, so you could have a few slick spots. Here's the good news. So we're going to lift that forewarn alert after tomorrow morning. We're warming things up, and we'll be in the 40s by the tail end of the weekend and into early next week.